Good morning, friends. This is a series of lecture for TY BSc Analytical Chemistry student. Chapter number 3, Thermal Methods of Analysis, Semester 5, 2019 pattern. Now we are going to learn about some topics related to thermal methods of analysis. We have already taken the principal instrumentation involved in thermal methods of analysis. Now, in this topic, we will cover the important conditions for the instruments in thermogravimetry. Now, what are the basic conditions for the instrument in thermogravimetry that are related to this video? Now here, where we have already covered thermal methods of analysis. Now, thermal methods of analysis are nothing but a group of techniques in which physical property of the analyte or physical property of the sample is recorded as a function of temperature or time. So that is the basic definition of thermal methods of analysis. Now, these thermal method of analysis consist of DTA, DSC, and TGA, that is thermogravimetry analysis, TGA. Now here we are going to learn some basic conditions. Which are the basic conditions which are needful for the instrument in thermogravimetry? Now, for the instrument, thermobalance is very needful. The thermobalance should be capable of continuously registering the weight change of sample studied as a function of temperature. Now, the first condition, the thermobalance should be capable of continuously registering the weight change of the sample. Now, in thermogravimetry, we get the curve like this. Now, there is a fluctuation of the curve occurs. Now, here the notation or note down of whatever the weight change is observed with time or temperature, that should be registered, and the thermobalance should have the ability to record such a type of weight change observed with temperature. Now the second point is the furnace should reach the maximum dried temperature. Now for the dried, if we give the linearity for the temperature, that should be 0 degree to 1200 degrees centigrade. Up to 1200 degrees centigrade, that 0 degrees centigrade is regarded as initial temperature, while 1200 degrees centigrade is regarded as a dried temperature for the analysis. Now that furnace should have the ability to reach to the maximum dried temperature. Now the third condition is that the rate of heating is linear and reproducible. So the rate of heating should be a linear and a reproducible. So these are the two conditions, linear and reproducible, which are very important for the heating. The rate of heating is linear and reproducible. Now the third is the sample holder should be in the hot zone of the furnace, and this zone should be of uniform temperature. Now the sample holder should be kept at a hot zone of the furnace, and this hot zone should be in the regard of uniform temperature. That means uniform temperature should be provided to this hot zone. Now the next one is thermobalance should have the facilities for the provision of various heating rates to permit heating in a variety of controlled atmosphere and for heating in vacuum. The instrument is also capable of carrying isothermal studies. Now the instrumentation have the ability to give the results accordingly with controlled atmosphere, and the linearity of heating or heating rate should not be disturbed. So that means the thermobalance should have the facilities for the provision of variable heating rates. So variable heating rates should be given to the thermobalance, and that facility should be provided to the thermobalance. And again, the isothermal instrument has the ability to give the results in isothermal conditions also. So here that instrument, or can say the thermobalance, should such a type of dynamic condition. Next one is the balance should be protected from the furnace and effect of corrosive gases. Now the thermobalance should be protected from the heating effect of the furnace. So whatever the heating effect observed through the furnace, that heating effect should be nullified on the balance. And corrosive gases, that carbon dioxide, such a type of nitrogen dioxide. Okay, so corrosive gases that should be evolved in the process of thermogravimetry. At the effect of, so the bad effect or side effect of the corrosive gases should not be occur on the thermobalance. Now the next one is the temperature of the sample must be measured as accurately as possible. So thermobalance should have the ability to measure the temperature, and here the pyrometer have the ability to measure the temperature, and this temperature measurement should be as accurate as possible. Next one is use of balanced sensitivity suitable for studying small weights. Now here, use a balanced sensitivity suitable for studying small weights. So the small weights that should be accordingly here studied, and these small weights should have the provision with balanced sensitivity. So these are the 8 conditions which are very important for the point of view, whatever the instruments, basic conditions regarding the instruments in thermogravity. With this content, I conclude this lecture. Thank you very much for your patience listening.